Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be looking at the length of a chord, perimeter of a segment, and area of a segment. Now, what is a chord? Let's take a look at the diagram of the circle center O. A chord is a line drawn from one point on the circumference to another point on the circumference. And your diameter can also be considered as a chord. So we have a line drawn from, let's say, point A to point B. This is a chord. Now this chord can subtend an angle at the center. So let's say we have an angle theta. This line drawn from any point on the circumference to the center is the radius. So we have our radius here as well. So in order for us to calculate the length of the chord, we simply use this formula. The length of chord is 2r sine the angle subtended over 2. Now moving on, what is a segment? A segment is a region bound by a chord and an arc. So here we have a chord and here we have an arc. This arc right here is the minor arc. Alright, so this region is a segment and it is the minor segment. Now the region bound by the chord and the major arc is this region right here, and this region is the major segment. And of course we have the major arc. Alright, so how do we calculate the perimeter of a segment? It's a very simple formula. As we have established, the perimeter is the sum of all sides. So if we have a chord and an arc, the perimeter will simply be the length of the chord plus the length of the arc. So perimeter of a segment is length of chord plus length of arc. So let me come up here. Perimeter of a segment, length of chord, as we have done earlier, is 2r sine theta over 2 plus length of arc is theta over 360 according to the previous video times 2 pi r. So this is the formula to use when you are asked to calculate the perimeter of a segment. Moving on, how do we calculate the area of a segment? How do we calculate the area of a segment? If this chord subtends an angle at the center, so we have our radius, and we have an angle theta. For us to calculate the area of the segment, we have to remove this triangle from the sector. This is the sector. 2 radii and an arc, remember? Now, when we remove the triangle from the sector, we're going to be left with the segment. Alright, so area of the segment will simply be the area of the sector minus area of triangle. Alright, and we've also established in the previous video that area of sector is theta over 360 multiplied by pi r squared. Now in this case, the area of triangle we're going to use is 1 over 2 r squared sine theta. Alright, let's take a look at this question. We are given the circle center O and the chord subtends an angle of 95 degrees at the center, and the radius of the circle is given as 12 centimeters. We're asked to find the length of chord. So how do we find the length of the chord? We simply apply the formula, right? Length of chord is 2r sine theta over 2, and that will be 2 multiplied by 12, radius 12, sine 95 over 2. So when we type that in our calculator, what are we going to have? We're going to have 17.69 centimeter. Right, so let's write it here, 17.69 centimeter. So now, how do we calculate the perimeter of the segment? Right, the perimeter of the segment is simply the length of the chord plus the length of arc. All right, so the length of chord is 2r sine theta over 2, which is what we've already calculated. Then length of arc is theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So we just substitute this length of chord, 17.69 plus theta is 95 divided by 360 times 2 times pi times 12 centimeters, which is our radius. And so we'll type this in our calculator, and we have the perimeter of the segment to be 37.586 centimeter. Alright, next thing is to calculate the area of the segment. The area of the segment is simply the area of the sector minus area of the triangle. Alright, so area of sector is theta over 360 times pi r squared minus area of triangle is half r squared sine theta. And so we have 95 over 360 times pi times 12 squared minus half times 12 squared sine 95. And we can once again type this in our calculator. The area of the segment is 47.654 centimeter squared. And that is it. If you've learned something in this video, hit that subscribe button, like this video, share this video, and drop a comment if you have any questions. Goodbye.